Alright, what we got here is Kohler 27 horse 430 Steiner. This was the oil cooler attached there that went to your filter. And then this was the other part of the oil cooler that attaches over here. Started leaking oil around here. Come to find out, thought it was this gasket. The gasket on these goes right around there, sits up there, and it was seeping. Well, I bought a new gasket, cheap little fix. I put it back on there. It was still leaking. Went to mow. All of a sudden, luckily I caught it. I looked down. This thing was spraying oil everywhere. And what happened was there was a crack. I don't know. I took it back off. That little crack you wouldn't think would mean much, but from the pressure of the oil, it pushed it right out. So I started looking. I could break this right off with my fingers. It's almost like it got brittle. And I don't know what kind of plastic it is. This thing's getting pretty old. I mean, hot. So I don't know if it just got brittle with age or if it was something I did. Not real sure. So I found this as an alternative because I couldn't find anywhere you can buy just this part through Kohler. You have to buy a whole new oil cooler. I don't know why. I did some looking around, but I was sort of in a hurry. So I found this, sort of an upgrade. Milled aluminum. You put a ring in this one, you're never going to have to worry about that one breaking. It's a little different. From what I heard, they said this one would work. It's a universal. The only main difference is the oil comes in from down here into this one. This one's milled up here, but there's enough of a gap there, it should spray it. It's just a little bit reversed. So, I don't know. I was told this will work, and I checked around, and they said it's just a universal one, so this is sort of an upgrade as far as I'm concerned, being aluminum. So I'm going to throw it on here and see. I got my fingers crossed, because once this broke, that pretty much scared me, because this thing was pissing so much oil out of it that, I mean, it wouldn't have took long. I bet you, if I wouldn't have caught it when I did, I would have ran this thing out of oil in probably, I'd say a minute and a half. It lost half a quart to a quart in just, I mean, no time. It was leaving a oil trail. So I'm going to throw this on here, fire it up, make sure everything works, and we'll see what it looks like. All right, I got it on there. Started it up, revved it up, got the oil pressure going, and so far so good. No signs of leaks, anything like that. My only main concern is back in there. That one didn't fit the seal. It was close, and I was afraid it was going to do like the other one and blow that seal up a little bit, but I think tweaking it down pretty good, being aluminum, it's going to have a tighter fit. I don't think that seal's going anywhere. So I'm going to keep an eye on it here. I'm going to mow with it, and I'm going to keep an eye on it for a while. And if I see any signs of leaking, I'll link below. But the oil cooler kit, get the number here. There it is. That was this one. If anyone wants to upgrade theirs for that. And now, since I got the Steiner unit, I already got the oil pressure gauge. Anyone that has the Kohler, they got the blank spot here for the water temp for the diesel and the gas version. But if you get on teleflex.com, or they sold to like Sierra, and then they sold to some other company, but get on to Teleflex or Sierra Marine gauges. This is the Omega series. You can buy these. I went with the 0 to 80 instead of the 100 because I think these run right around 40 psi. So I finally got the sending unit, because you have to get the sending unit with the gauge. And the only problem with that is on the Kohlers, I believe right there is where I got to plug it in, but the sending unit's pretty big. So that's my next project. I've been wanting to work on that, and with this oil leak, that is getting done maybe next week. And when I install that, I'm going to do a video on that too. So if anyone wants to put an oil pressure gauge on the Kohler commands, I'll throw that on there too. So Alright, like I said, I'm going to mow with it. If I run into any problems with this kit conversion, I'll link below, but like I said, hopefully fingers crossed that this one looks a lot sturdier and a lot more heavy duty than that plastic one. So there you go. If I have any problems, I'll post below. Thanks for watching. Alright guys, I just wanted to end this. I mowed with this. I've been using it, did some other things, about 3 hours on it now, and I had a few dribbles after installing it. It's not leaking around this new oil cooler. I think a lot of the drips I were getting were dirty drips. I think they were just stuff, as you can see, that was when that filter, when that old gasket on an oil cooler let loose, it sprayed oil all up in here. It was spraying it, so I couldn't get everything cleaned out really well, and I didn't take the grill off yet because I wanted to see if it was leaking again before I cleaned everything up too good. But I stopped a couple times and cleaned everything off with a rag and scraped everything, you know, as good as I could as I went, and seems to work pretty good. Now, would I change the oil cooler I had to this one? Probably not, only because it's like $190 for the whole kit, but I didn't have a choice because it was either buy the other one, like I said, and I'm just afraid of having it break again being plastic, or I could have went with the aluminum one. Is the aluminum one better? I don't know. I mean, to me, if it don't leak, I think it's better because I never have to worry about this thing breaking. You know, it's got these heavy duty brass fittings that thread into it. I think it's a better setup. This setup, I guess, was if your engine didn't have an oil cooler. You know, this was the one you could add to it. I know some John Deere models I saw on the internet use this one, and I do know I have seen Dixie choppers with the same one. So I don't know, I'm just throwing it out there. If anyone else runs into the problem with it leaking, you get some age on them, I'd be careful. I mean, keep an eye on it. Like I said, mine just, you know, that plastic starts to crack. It don't take long, and I mean, I could have destroyed this engine in a matter of minutes. So keep posted. Like I said, I'm doing the oil pressure video here pretty quick, and I finally got my lights up there on the roll bar for night mowing. I did one with that on the cab earlier. If anyone hasn't seen it, you can check that out, and hopefully I'll have them operational here next week too. I'll do a video on how I do that and then show how well it looks with the roll bar lights with mowing. So alright, thanks for watching.